What's going on, guys? Kyle Carroll from MyMMAnews.com and Carroll's Corner MMA Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Kyle Kahler, who will be fighting
What's
at
up?
Cage Wars 41. Kyle, thanks for joining me.
Hey, Kyle. Thanks for having me, man.
Always
Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, man, having you. Before we dive into anything, I just want to recognize my sponsors, Pure Spectrum CBD. Description in the link in the description. Click it below. 10% off all CBD products. Make sure to check it out. Great stuff. Also, protect your nuts. Diamond MMA. Go get a cup if you don't have one. Go get a better cup if you have one. Diamond MMA. Protect your nuts. Link in the description. 10% off. Check it out. And if you want to get pre-workout from Get Yoked, a Long Island, New York product, all natural, don't have to worry about any preservatives, transparent, check it out. Link in the description, 10% below. Use the code Carroll's Corner. All right, Kyle, how are you? How are you training for this fight? How's everything going?
And I mean, it's fight camp, so it's the pressure's on, the heat's on, man. I'm eating good. I mean, I can't really don't have any complaints, no injuries, nothing.
Awesome. You're fighting at MVMMA, coming off a huge victory. How does it feel to get a victory like that? And what kind of thing? What does it do for your confidence heading into this fight?
Um, the best way I can put it, humbly, man, is like it shows that I was able to do what I knew I was always able to do, what I know I can do, to, if not most, but all featherweights out there. I know I'm a great fighter, man, and though I did have some minor, setbacks, like I said, I got those cobwebs shaken off, man. So now it's really time to show forth what I can really do, and that right there is just that's just the tip of the iceberg, man.
Most definitely. And you're talking about you believe how you're confident in yourself. You believe that's just the tip of the iceberg. Watching that fight this last time alongside Will Barry, I know we were talking about it as the fight's going on. We were saying how improved you looked, and you looked a lot calmer in there. What did you learn from your past fights, your wins, your losses, and led up to that fight?
Honestly, it's my first two fights. I would say I was even more nervous for my second fight because I was kind of in debt. I was in the negative, of record wise, and I know I'm better than that. So that right there was really nerve wracking for me. But once I came off that victory, I went to see that third fight with Derek Ellis. And I wasn't even like nervous at all, man. I was more anxious just to get in there, and then that's what I became now. Like I'm just like really anxious to get there, like anxious to get the weight cut over, anxious to get into the cage. Because once I'm in the cage, that's the fun part right there.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is just it's what I train so hard to do. It's what I talk to all my friends about. It's what I watch every night. It's what I do every day. It's fun. I don't find it nerve wracking. Minus obviously the first two fights because I just first fight being is my first time ever doing it. Second fight, I had a lot of pressure on my, on my shoulders. So,
do you feel like you got that weight off your back though? Kind of took that monkey off your back, and now kind of relaxed a little, and moving forward, you could kind of focus on your mental capacity going in, your physical capacity. You just feel like you got that off your shoulders?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. I like I said, I feel like a pro, man. I just feel I'm just doing the. I feel like I'm just doing the amateur game right now because I have to. Personal reasons. Like moral victories. More at it. I don't want to be one of those freaking fighters that have like one or two or three fights, they got like a good guillotine or something, and or a mediocre guillotine, but it's how they won all their fights in the amateurs. And then they go up to the pros, and then they get their shit on it out. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that. I want to be a professional fighter. I want to make a living off of it, and you're not going to do that, off of just knowing one fucking technique, man. So this right here, you know, I'm learning, but I do feel like I'm better than the average amateur. I feel like I'm a really good amateur, probably if not best, and one of the best in the Northeast, probably even in the United States.
Awesome, awesome. Now, talking about being the best and trying to strive for that standard, what do you believe you have to do to continue to conquer that quest of being the best and improving? You guys, you train out of a tough gym up in the upstate New York. What do you believe you guys under Duff Holmes have to do to get to the top level to be, the best professional? When you walk in the pros, a lot of times guys aren't prepared, and then boom, they're like, "Whoa, what the hell am I into?" But you guys train hard. What do you think you have to do to get to that level?
Well, one, definitely stay hungry because there's a lot of good guys that start off in this stuff and then they get really complacent and like they just quit. They don't want to do it anymore. They think they're too good for it, and they never achieve their full potential. What I was told today, man. You gotta picture yourself being hungry. Like, let's say you're in front of a 90-pound Ethiopian kid and a fucking cheeseburger gets thrown right there. Guess who's gonna get that cheeseburger first? Not you. So that's how hungry you gotta be, man. So definitely stay hungry, and then you gotta have the mindset to want to keep doing it, to want to learn. Like I even though we learn techniques already, like I know how to throw a jab, but I know how to throw punches. I know basic submissions. I know a few advanced submissions, but every time it's shown, I look at it like it's the first time because every single time you learn a new detail. So it's definitely just keep reiterating that and just keep learning, never stop learning. But for Duff, man, training under him, it's one, he's got to tell me, hey kid, you're ready to go pro. So I'm definitely waiting for that someday. But I don't think it's be too far in the future where that until that happens. Like I said, this is all just experience right now. But for moral victories, I definitely would like to get a title. Maybe even get two. Maybe even beat like some top 10 kids in the Northeast, which I know I can.
Mm-hmm. Now you're fighting on Cage Wars 41 fight card. Cage Wars is building themselves up to be one of the premier shows in the Northeast for the amateur level. Is there anyone you want to fight? I know you're fighting Robbie Bellemare, so let's not get past him. But before we get into him, is there like someone or somewhere you want to go to fight to kind of challenge yourself and see where you're at against guys outside of, say, just upstate?
As of right now, I like Cage Wars, so I don't really see myself going to any other promotion, unless
would you want him to say you win this fight? Would you want him to bring in people from like Long Island or Vermont, Boston, Pennsylvania? Would you like to see like him to bring some guys in and fight to challenge you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm only in this to fight the best. Like after this fight, man, I wanna face somebody like top 10 material. Someone worthy. Former champions. Whoever. Because like I said, I'm going to display this fight that I definitely belong in that bracket. So as far as certain people, no, I don't really have a preference. Whoever's in my way, man, friend or not, they're throwing my way. They're going to get put out of the way real fast.
Definitely. And going to Robbie Bellemare, you're fighting him. Tell us how this fight came about. Was this a fight you wanted, he wanted? How did you guys end up getting matched up? I know you fought a teammate of yours, Davey Doolin. Now you're fighting him. Explain this fight and the matchup.
The way, I guess, is kind of funny. Like, I don't know. He was supposed to, after he fought Davey, he was talking about a fight with Mike. And so I believe it was Cage Wars 39. I was supposed to originally have this one fight, and that got pulled. So Mike, I guess, wasn't on the card. I don't believe he was on the card, or maybe I think he was actually fighting for the title that day. Yeah, he was fighting for the title that time. So he already had a fight. So I heard Robbie was looking for a fight. I didn't have a fight. It only makes sense. You got two guys looking for a fight. So why not pair it up? So then that happened. Then I guess he was injured. He got an injury in camp. Okay, that happens. Sucks, but he had to pull out. And so, and this came about. This where we're at right now is after the last fight. He made a comment on Facebook saying, "Slim, I would like to fight. I would like to challenge him. This and that." And I'm not going to turn down a challenge like that. So, I mean, if he's serious this time, not saying he wasn't last time, but if it's going to happen this time, let's go. So here we are.
Now you've seen him fight. Like I said, you saw him fight your teammate Davey Doolin. What do you see in his skills that or may be a challenge to you when you step inside the cage?
Him working off his back. That's it. And even if it goes to that, which I don't think it will, that's probably the best chance he's got. And I say that, as humbly as and respectfully as I can. I'm not trying to disrespect the guy. He's not a bad dude, but I just think my skill set is just gonna just smother him and just suppress him. And any game plan he had in there is gonna quickly be thrown right outside his head.
Gotcha. Now, let's talk about some of your short-term goals. Obviously, in the fight, you want to win. What do you believe you have to do within the fight in order to win?
Keep him on his feet. Keep him on his feet. Stay on my feet, and just hit him with combos. I know he's not gonna like the punches I hit him with. Basically, I just want to make him quit. I want to hit him, and it probably won't even like stun him, but it'll make him say, "Fuck, I don't want to take any more of those." Where he'll look for a way out. And if we go to the ground, I feel just as confident there. I do believe I can submit him if it came to, or just ground upon him, or even if I just rode him and just stay, just do what Davey did and just Khabib him for 3 rounds straight. I feel like I can even do that too. But I say all this, but in the back of my head, I'm also very wary of what he may bring because I know anything can happen. I mean, fuck, look what happened last week, dude. Jorge Masvidal and Darren Till. Nobody's seen that coming. I didn't. I lost $10 in that fucking fight, man. So,
so tell us.
So I do know anything can happen. So,
definitely. No, I totally understand that. Always got to be prepared for everything. Tell us a little bit about your long-term goals. Your goals for obviously you want to become a pro, but when you become a pro, what do you want to do how do you have to be a pro and elevate your game as well as life after fighting? What are your plans for that? Tell us a little bit about these long-term goals of yours.
Well, I'm in college right now. Going for general studies right now, but I'm definitely thinking of switching into like a personal fitness type of goal, or degree, I should say, because it's not just beneficial for the people that I would train, but for me as well. It'll make me want to stay in shape because you're a direct reflection of your work. If you if you look good, your shit, then you're obviously gonna be a hot seller. People are gonna want to buy your stuff. They're gonna want to train with you. So that's something I definitely want to do for life after fighting. Maybe if I get good enough to open my own gym, like years from now. As far as going pro, staying pro, just look for the right fights. Look for like the even fights. I don't want any easy fights when I'm in, but I don't want like fights. Like Rich Franklin and Nate Quarry, because that shit shouldn't have ever happened right there. It's like I don't want to be fighting a world champion, level class fighter if I'm not near as ready. So I want good fights. I want challenging fights, but I don't want ones where I don't have any absolute way to win.
Definitely.
So that's
cool. Now, and we're talking about that. You want to be personal fitness and all. What are some of the things you do for fun and that you kind of just you get out there? I know I've asked you in the past what's one thing about you that nobody knows but you'd like to share. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing for fun when you're not training or school or working, whatever it may be.
Honestly, man, I'm kind of boring. I don't really do too much. I literally go to school full time, work full time, and I train, as full time as I can. But I guess I'll go out and I'll party, I'll go out, I'll get have a few drinks, I'll get a little silly, I'll have a good time, play my Xbox, go for runs, watch. I love going to the movie theaters when I can, I love to eat too. I love food. Who doesn't, So
definitely.
I'm a very simple guy, simplicity is something I've always longed for. So I kind of have it right now, so I'm kind of just staying with it,
Cool. And kind of going back to that cheeseburger versus the Ethiopian, I think I might beat the Ethiopian for the cheeseburger though.
Oh man, hey, we'll have to wait. We'll have to see, man. I know a guy from there, so
Yeah.
we can test that out. I mean, he's eating good though. He's eating good, so
So he's prepared.
yeah, he's a little prepared. You know, he's not gonna be ass hungry.
So what inspires you? Who are some people that intrigue you, inspire you, and motivate you to stay focused mentally for the fight game? Because as we all know, it's just not physically fatiguing; it's also mentally fatiguing. So you got to always have your mind prepared and focused. What's something that inspires you, or someone that inspires you?
Well, I can definitely say someone, definitely my coach, Duff. He's always he's just
Cool.
as much as he yeah, as much as he harps on physical fitness and training, but also keeping your mind sharp as well. Same as with my boxing coach that I trained with years ago. Same exact things. Always talking about how strong your mind is. Keep your mind sharp. And, you know, your body can do a lot of stuff, just your mind. And sometimes, you know, most of the time it gets the best of you, which is understandable. That's why you got to train it. Definitely all my team members, they all inspire me because the way I look at it is if I could take a day off or two, but they're there training, they're there getting better, and I'm not. So they inspire me to keep wanting to get better. And of course, you know, I mean, a couple fighters too. You know, I don't want to sound cliche, man, but you know, Mike Tyson is definitely a big influence. You know, as well as what's his fucking name? God damn it, I just drew a blank right there. Buster Douglas.
Okay.
You know, yeah, Buster Douglas, because he wasn't supposed to win that fight, you know, and look what happened. Fucking beat Kid Dynamite. Yeah, like, but I mean, that's really it. I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of things, but it's I don't know. Sometimes at some point, it's more quality than it's quantity with that. You know,
Definitely.
just a handful of things. You know.
Cool. Well, Kyle, I appreciate you coming on, chatting with me, talking about this fight coming up. I'm excited to see you get back in there and see the continued progression that you've made. As like I've said, I had the luxury of watching you guys fight every time and improve alongside Will Barry as we get to commentate the fights, which is absolutely a luxury of mine. And I say luxury because it's something I love to do, but it's awesome to get to see you guys up front and continue to grow because I love seeing the local scene fighters. I know I was on MyMMAnews.com. There's a UFC fighter talking about how the big news media never covers the little guys or the local guys. So it's definitely something I love to do is cover the local guys. And I appreciate you guys always coming on and taking the time to chat with me. So anyone you want to recognize and give a shout out to that's helped you and supported you to this point?
So of course, Duff Holmes, you know, I gotta give you a shout out, man. You know, without you, I wouldn't be here. So I owe you everything, man. I love you. Love all my teammates. I'm not gonna say any names. You know, don't want to
forget anyone.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because then it's like, well, man, you know, you fucking forgot me, so fuck you. You know, definitely, you know, my brother, man, I love you, kid. You know, my sister, my mom. You know, even my roommate over there. And you know, my new, I guess, cliche thing I always say, my buddy, Porno Mike, good dude. Yeah, we're gonna have to separate talk about that some other time. I'll let you know about him. But I do want to say one thing, if I may.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I have the time.
Yeah.
All right. So I recently did a radio podcast with the guys over at MMA Wreckage, and ever since then, a lot of people I was in the service with have started adding me and think I'm their best friend, and you know, like I'm their buddy and everything like that. So I just want to clear the air right here. For those of you, if you're seeing this, if you requested me on Facebook and I added you, this does not apply to you. But for the rest of you guys, I want to just say, right there, man. Where were you when I was in the barracks on the weekends drinking all night, looking, and you guys come to the barracks for my roommate, but leave me out of it, even though you know we're best friends and everything. So don't ever fucking talk to me again, and enjoy the Dame's backside. Sorry, I got a little dark right there.
No, it's totally fine. Got to clear the air. So yeah, totally understand. We'll have to. I plan to bring the stuff to do podcasts and discuss, like, get more in depth at the fights. Well, I know most people don't like to fight talk usually right before the fights, but after, I'll be there Saturday night after the fights all night, staying there obviously, and then Sunday morning. So we'll definitely have to hop on and chat some more
Yeah.
after the fight. Kyle, pleasure as always talking to you, man. It's a good time chatting with you. You're a great guy, and I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming fight.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate